Hi, you want to know something you and I have in common? You do? We're both humans. Not lions, tigers, or bears, but Homo sapiens. Even though we don't have sharp claws or deadly venom, us homos have become the most flourishing animals on the planet. How did this happen? Well, history, but let me cut to the chase. These days, not many of us could go up against a grizzly bear and win. Well, I could, but I'm an exception. Today, I'm gonna show you some of the times where people fought back against nature's fiercest beasts and became the wild men we all truly are on the inside. Oh, and I'm sorry I haven't posted in so long, but, do you like the haircut? Animals are terrifying, and I love them. The one in this first story, though, is an exception to be sure. Hippos are evil, evil water cows that for some reason have a bite force stronger than lions, tigers, bears, oh my, and even the Allosaurus. Point being, hippos are strong, and aggressive too. Hippo attacks kill 500 people every year. In fact, they're known to be the most dangerous animal on the planet. On March 9th, 1996, a man named Paul Templar was getting ready to tour folks around the Zambezi River in Zimbabwe. This guy was experienced. He wasn't some run-of-the-mill tour guide. He had done this before. While he and two other guides rode tourists down the river, Paul saw something in the distance. Hippos. And tons of them. This wasn't a crazy problem at first, but as Paul and his team went by, one of the hippos decided to ram a canoe as hard as it could. This sent Evans, one of the guides, flying off into the river. Seeing this happen, Paul raced back, paddling his canoe to save his friend, but as he did, another hippo leapt out of the water, grabbed his entire upper body in its mouth, and just started. He was then spat out and caught again and again. The hippo thrashed him around ruthlessly, puncturing its teeth through his arms, legs, torso, everything. Eventually, Paul somehow broke free from the jaws, and then he swam to one of the remaining canoes, and they all got the heck out of there. Except for one person. Evans, the guy who fell into the river, no one could save him, and his body was found floating 3 days later. To make matters worse, Paul lost an arm from the encounter, but you know, he's alive. He's good. He's a legend. Bears are really cool. They're cute. They're huge. They kill people. I love them. Even though I like them so much, I admit, they're incredibly dangerous. Just look at this. Bear attacks are brutal, and while they usually only occur after the bear's been provoked, sometimes bears are just hateful. One sunny fall day in October, Todd Orr was hiking through the forests of Montana, looking for some elk to hunt. As he searched, he saw a huge mother bear with her 2 cubs. When he saw them, they just ran down a hill, and he figured that was it. However, a few minutes later, the mother came charging back for him. He quickly pulled out his bear spray, but the bear just charged through it and tackled him. He was badly bitten on his arm, his ear, and some of his scalp was peeling off. After minutes of this torture, Todd was finally relieved when the bear ran off. Like a champ, Todd just began walking back to his car, because he's awesome. It wasn't over yet though, because as the hunter had barely reached civilization, the bear came back. It jumped on him again, but this time it wasn't playing around. Well, it wasn't playing around the last time either, but you know what I mean. It broke his arm, bit deep into his shoulder, and clawed its way across his chest. The entire time, all Todd could really do was try to cover his face and keep his vital organs safe. Eventually, the mother bear finally gave up again, and then Todd just walked his way out of there. That is awesome. Since then, he has made a full recovery and is just going back into the mountains to keep hunting, because he's just like that. And you know what? I think we should all be more like Todd. I know what you're thinking. This guy sucks. Grizzly bears aren't even that dangerous. I could take one. Ugh, I should just click off the video and go watch Instagram Reels. But wait! Maybe you could take a grizzly bear. I mean, I haven't seen your workout routine. Even so, grizzly bears aren't the worst bear out there. Found in some of the coldest places on Earth, polar bears are apex predators. Adult males can weigh over 1,700 pounds, and when standing on both legs, can be over 10 feet tall. Worst thing is, they have this face at all times. This adorable stuffed animal gaze of terror. So while this thing rips your arm off, it will do so with a pretty happy expression. One such polar bear decided to sneak into Matt Dyer's camp on a dark Canadian night. It was 2:30 in the morning, and the man awoke to see its huge silhouette outside the tent. He shouted to alert his friends, "Bear in the camp!" But as he did so, the bear grabbed him through the wall of the tent by his head and began tugging hard. After a few moments, the tent's wall snapped, shooting Matt and the bear back into the snow. The beast spared no time and began to gallop off into the wilderness, dragging Dyer along with it. It cracked his jaw with its teeth and crushed his lung. From inside the camp, Trip Leader Rich Gross awoke to the disaster unfolding. The bear was fading off into the distance now, but Rich had to save his friend. And so, he pulled out a flare gun and shot directly in front of the creature. It reared back, letting go of a dying Matt. Turned around for a second and looked like it was gonna go away, but then it just came back. It just came back to kill Matt even more. You could say that Matt Dyer was in a dire situation. That's not funny. He was being killed by a bear. That's terrible. Trying to stay calm, Rich shot another flare. This time, the flash landed in between Matt and the bear sprinted off into the distance, finally leaving. Matt was carefully lifted by the other 6 members of the camp and taken back to safety. After being transported to a hospital, he somehow recovered from all of his severe wounds, those being 2 cracked vertebrae, a broken jaw, a collapsed lung, extreme cuts all over his body, and a long gash on his forehead. He's fine now. I love bears! Hey guys, you know what's really scary? Cats. I don't know if you have one, but these things have incredibly sharp claws. Even so, I think I could take this thing in a fight. What's truly frightening though is when cats get bigger. Much bigger. Mountain lions are some of the most dangerous creatures out there, able to jump 18 feet in the air and sprint as fast as a car. All goes without saying, they're pretty freaking dangerous. For this last story though, I'm gonna show you a true warrior. Travis Kaufman was running a trail in Colorado when he heard a strange rustling coming from behind him. He turned to see a huge cougar charging him. Now, many would cower in this situation, but not Travis, no. He was built different. As the puma lunged at his neck, Travis threw up fists and deflected the initial strike. Instead of his throat, the creature grabbed his right hand and tackled him off a small ledge. As they wrestled, the runner attempted to beat the cougar into submission, releasing his hand, but to no avail. As they reached the bottom of the hill, Travis managed to get a rock from the cougar, pin it down, and start beating it repeatedly. After its jaw loosened, Travis ripped his arm free and stepped hard on the cat's neck. In the next few moments, the predator became the prey, and Kaufman earned himself the title of Panther Slayer. After killing the panther, he just got up and walked himself to the hospital. He didn't have hardly any wounds. I love that guy. I also love animals, even though they can be kind of dangerous sometimes. I still think I could take a bear. Subscribing would be good.